These days, everyone is talking about family investment companies, or FICs, as one of the most effective tools for inheritance tax planning. And while they're not a magic solution, when they're set up and managed properly, they can be incredibly powerful for building and protecting family wealth across generations. In this video, I'll walk you through exactly what a FIC is, how it works, and where people sometimes go wrong, and especially what to think about before setting one up if your goal is long-term family wealth and succession planning. If you're new here, I'm Abbas, a chartered accountant and a chartered tax advisor. I trained at one of the big 4 firms in their private client team, and I now work with individuals, families, and business owners on tax structuring and inheritance tax planning. Let's get into it. What actually is a family investment company? Well, at its core, it's just a standard private limited company. It pays corporation tax on its profits, it files annual accounts, and it's owned by shareholders, usually family members. Now, what makes it different is how the shares are structured. In a normal company, each share usually gives you 3 rights: voting rights, dividend rights, and rights to capital growth. But in a FIC, you can separate these out. For example, the parents might hold shares with full voting control, while the children hold shares that have rights to income or capital growth, but no votes. That means the parents can still make all of the decisions, but any future growth in the company's value belongs to the next generation. And crucially, it's outside of the parents' estate for inheritance tax purposes. So effectively, a FIC lets you start passing down wealth to your children without giving up control, and without triggering an immediate IHT charge like you would with putting assets into a trust. So why have FICs suddenly become so popular? Well, it's been for good reason. They allow you to move wealth into a structure that can grow in a tax-efficient way while staying in control of it. With trusts, once you've used your £325,000 new rate ban, anything above that can trigger a 20% entry charge, and a FIC avoids that altogether. And because companies pay corporation tax, currently 25%, instead of personal income tax rates of up to 45%, the wealth compounds faster inside the structure. That means you can reinvest profits, grow value over time, and keep the long-term inheritance tax exposure down. It's this combination, control, growth, and intergenerational planning, that's made FICs so attractive. But while they're a great tool, like any planning structure, they need to be thought through carefully. Let me give you an example. Joanna, aged 85, set up a company years ago to buy and manage rental properties in London. These flats are now worth £16 million, and she owns 70% of the company. She's in poor health, has no liquid assets, and all of her wealth is tied up in the company. When she dies, her estate faces a large inheritance tax bill, but there's no cash to pay it. Selling properties triggers corporation tax, and taking money out of the company means dividend tax. So while the FIC has helped her build wealth efficiently, it's now created a liquidity problem, and the family will need to sell assets just to fund the tax. Now, that doesn't mean that the FIC was a bad idea, it just needed ongoing planning. Even well-structured FICs need to be reviewed regularly to make sure they still align with the family's circumstances and cash flows. So here are some key areas to watch out for, not because they make FICs bad, but because getting them right is what makes FICs work. Liquidity. So if all the value is tied up in property or illiquid investments, the next generation may struggle to pay inheritance tax when the founder passes away. Building in some liquidity early or using a mix of assets helps avoid that issue. Double taxation. Well, yes, there could be 2 layers of tax: corporation tax when assets are sold, and tax again when money is extracted. But this is mostly a timing issue. While profits stay in the company, they grow faster thanks to the lower tax rates. While the longer you leave it invested, the more powerful that compounding becomes. And family governance, well, a FIC works best when the family is aligned. Clear agreements and good communication are essential, especially as ownership passes down through the generation. And ongoing compliance, it's still a company. It needs proper accounting, records, and shareholder documentation. Handled well, this can be a positive. It brings structure, discipline, and transparency to how the family wealth is managed. And finally, asset protection. FICs can provide some asset protection by simply holding the assets in a corporate vehicle. But if asset protection is your main goal, combining a FIC with a trust can offer even stronger safeguards. So when you model a FIC over a 30-year period, whether it's investing in property or financial assets, the results can be impressive. The company structure often produces faster growth while the investments are held because of the lower tax drag and reinvestment. Now, once money is taken out, yes, you'll be paying dividend taxes, but by that point, the pot is so much bigger, and a large part of that growth has already moved outside of your estate as a founder for inheritance tax. And that's where the real long-term benefit lies, the combination of compounding and the IHT efficiency. So what's the right approach then? Well, there's no one-size-fits-all solution. If you want to retain control, build wealth efficiently, and pass value down gradually, then a FIC can absolutely work for you, provided it's properly planned and reviewed. If you value simplicity, flexibility, and minimal admin, then a trust or direct gifting might be better suited to you. And if you already have a company, it is possible to adapt it into a FIC, but that needs proper valuations and tax clearances to ensure it's done tax efficiently and you don't face any unintended tax bills. So to conclude, FICs can be an incredibly powerful tool for family wealth planning. They give you the structure to build, protect, and transfer wealth efficiently while keeping control firmly in your hands. But they work best when they're treated as part of a long-term plan, reviewed regularly and designed around the family, not just the tax. The real power of a FIC isn't in the quick savings, it's in creating a flexible, lasting structure that keeps your wealth working for future generations. We help families design these properly, balancing control, tax efficiency, and practicality. If you found this video useful, give it a like and subscribe for more practical tax planning insights, and I'll see you in the next video.